Hello and welcome to this week's edition of CTN Community Update, a project that would turn Highway 610 and East River Road into a full-access interchange has gotten the green light to enter the next phase. The city recently received a letter from MnDOT saying the Interchange Review Committee has determined that the proposed access changes are consistent with the Met Council's Transportation Policy Plan. That allows the project to move into the next phase, preliminary design and environmental review. The project would add an off-ramp at East River Road for traffic on westbound 610 and an on-ramp for drivers at East River Road who want to head east on 610 towards Blaine. The city and county will continue to discuss the project over the next few months, including how to fund the preliminary design. Preventing and ending homelessness is the goal of a one-day resource fair in Blaine. On Thursday, Anoka County Community Connect brought together employers, health providers, and close to 40 other groups and vendors who share that goal. CTN's Dan Carpenter has more on their efforts.
She arrived long before the doors of St. Timothy Church opened Thursday.
We got acquainted and she was looking for a job.
An answer was found inside the annual Anoka County Community Connect event.
I walked up to FedEx and said I put my application in. We looked it up, had the interview, and then I was hired.
These are the kind of stories Anoka County Community Social Services and Behavioral Health want to help make possible.
As we go into fall, we want to make sure that the folks that may be on the verge of homelessness hopefully don't ever have to experience it. But those, if they're already in the shelter, may have an opportunity to move out of that.
In addition to help with jobs, the free event includes information on finding housing, applying for benefits, checkups, and even a preventative vaccination against an outbreak of hepatitis A in Minnesota.
Our systems are really complex, and depending upon what system you're navigating, it can be really challenging. One of the beauties about our Anoka Community Connect event is that we have personal navigators that will escort and support people as they go through to make sure that everything that they've identified on their intake, that those needs are met for them.
A day where access to resources is changing lives.
One life at a time.
Dan Carpenter for CTN Update.
For Homeless Awareness Month in November, Anoka County is partnering with the County Elections Office to promote voter registration. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, a time to call attention to the problem and take steps to end it. At Tuesday night's City Council meeting, Mayor Jerry Cook read a proclamation declaring October as Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Last year, the Alexander House, a shelter for women and children in Anoka County, served more than 370 people from Coon Rapids. Advocates also made presentations to hundreds of students at Coon Rapids High School. An annual fundraiser for the Alexander House has a new location this year. Hope Fest will take place on Saturday, September 28th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the YMCA in Lino Lakes. The event includes a brief program, walk, inflatables, and games for kids, a resource fair, and more. In addition to raising money, Hope Fest raises awareness about domestic and sexual violence, remembers those who've been lost, and honors the many survivors. More than 4,000 feet of eroding stream bank in Coon Rapids just got a major makeover. CTN's Jennifer Anderson followed along as residents took a tour of the Sand Creek Rehabilitation Project.
Look what happened. We have all this overstory.
The walk along Sand Creek Trail looks much different than it did last summer.
So the roots are in there holding that sandy soil in.
Erosion was eating away the banks of Sand Creek, sending harmful soil particles into the waterway.
Several hot spots, if you will, of erosion, and that erosion is dropping soil into the creek, and then things are attached to that soil. It could be E. coli bacteria, it could be phosphorus, it could be anything.
Dawn Doring of the Coon Creek Watershed District led a walking tour of the creek on Wednesday to point out a number of major changes designed to curb erosion and improve water quality. Both Sand Creek and Coon Creek, which connects to it, failed to meet federal water quality standards.
This project allowed us to go after several of these sites at one time.
With funding from the EPA and a state grant, a large restoration project spanning 2/3 of a mile is just wrapping up.
There on the creek bank, you see that netting. That's made of coconut fiber.
The group learned about coconut fiber netting, carefully placed root wads, and strategic rock piles. all of which will slow down water flow and create micro-habitats to help wildlife thrive.
My goal is that people realize that what we do on the land impacts our water, and that impacts the health of our communities.
For CTN Update, I'm Jennifer Anderson.
The rehabilitation project cost more than $460,000. The bulk of the work is complete, but removal of the invasive buckthorn will continue over time. And then the work heads upstream. The Coon Creek Watershed District would like to tackle restoration of another stretch of the Sand Creek further north from this latest project. The Watershed District will host an open house on Tuesday, September 24th to inform nearby residents of some of the changes that can be expected as part of the proposed Middle Sand Creek Restoration Project. The meeting starts at 6 p.m. in the Coon Rapids Civic Center. A well-known weatherman who once graced television sets in the Twin Cities made a stop in Coon Rapids this week.
I started doing the weather, but my back was to the audience the whole time. And I thought, this is very rude.
Many people fondly remember Barry Zavan, the weatherman, who was the guest speaker at the 20th annual Senior Safety Camp on Wednesday. The 82-year-old entertained the seniors with his celebrated career, which included being the peekaboo weatherman. He also shared a personal story, being a victim of fraud.
I was scammed at least once in my life, once connected to a Ponzi scheme which took away what minor savings I had and has forced me now to work at age 82.
After Zavan's talk, the seniors got in on a number of activities such as free blood pressure checks. The Coon Rapids Police Department gave a demonstration on CPR and also displayed one of their squad cars with the latest technology. Several sponsors provided information, including Mary T. Incorporated and the Volunteers of America. The Coon Rapids Police Explorers Post is looking for new members. An informational meeting will take place on Sunday at 7 p.m. at the Coon Rapids Police Department. The program gives those interested an opportunity to learn more about law enforcement and community policing. To participate, you must have at least completed 8th grade, be between the ages of 14 and 21, and pass a criminal background check. If you can't make the meeting and are interested, call Detective Adam Jacobson at 763-767-4417. Here's a sweet treat. The Coon Rapids Fire Explorers are having a fundraiser on Tuesday, September 24th at the DQ Grill and Chill in Riverdale. The event runs from 5:30 to 8 p.m. Come out and support the Fire Explorer Post, have some ice cream, and check out a fire truck. All right, that's going to bring us to the end of today's show. Thanks for watching. We'll see you right back here again next week.